been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winning side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field, hit the win. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's.
Well, no trip to the Northwest would be complete without a little rain, and we've got a lot of rain falling right now at CenturyLink Field in downtown Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Carolina Panthers and the Seattle Seahawks.
We got this.
Right to the 3.
Come on. Watch it.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
2 yards, good enough for a first.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. He's going to look deep for more. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
49 to Mike. Mark 49. Here we go. Mike 49. Mike 49.
To throw again. Newton. And Thomas has it. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
3 bucks. 49 to Mike. 49 to Mike.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Newton toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I will see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Now it's Newton. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive. Fourth down, and here's Graham Gano now in the field goal unit for the Panthers. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. It'll continue to be interesting in these wet conditions how these kickers fare, but first test, passed.
And how about how the special teams unit handled that? A lot of concentration to make sure the ball didn't slip through his fingers. After the snap, got it down and let him pop it through the posts.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Wilson. Being chased out left, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Ezekiel Ansah able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And not much to speak of. Called it a 1-yard gain up to the 15. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
59. Hey, watch your leg. Check 59. Bang out, bam, bam. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Mike's 59. Gun. Let's get it to touch 50, touch 50. Off. Tempo.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Quit talking about it and bring it. Gun. Alert. Mike 5'9". Focus, defense. Mike, check. 59. Alert. Get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
Now it's Wilson. Buying time to his left. It'll be a gain of 17, but even with that, they'll be well short here for 4th down.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Yeah, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Play action. It's Newton. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Leonard Williams, the former number 6 overall pick, got the sack that time.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Here we go. 49 to Mike. Watch 49. I got you. 8. Mike fast. You're all right, baby. You gonna get this. You're all right. Mike's 49. Mike's 49.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they look to throw. Completes it to Samuel. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, Carolina. Curtis Samuel, 88 yards. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from...
He's got a man, complete. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. The big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. On the delay, here's Carson. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2.
At the 36-yard line.
Look at.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they've got it 2nd down and 12.
Right there, 54 Mike. Let's go. Flood it. We got to step it up. 50. Hey, 0. Check. Watch 54.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to tear you up.
Run left.
Don't get nervous.
Alert. Go, 14. Plus 1. 54. Hey. Mike spot 4.
On 2nd down, it's Carson. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Good guys, 4 down. Right there, 54, right there. 54 Mike. I got it. Good job right there. 54 is Mike. Check.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. K1 short. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So on 4th down, here's Jason Myers for the Seahawk field goal. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have, and think back to our meeting with the head coach, and we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
From the 31, Newton. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
I'll go special. I'll go special. Mike's 5-4. Mike's 5-4. Come off the ball.
Mike's 54. Mike's 54.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Steps away to his left. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. That one goes for 30 yards.
95. Shoot. Go, 14. Go. 56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike.
Get that quarterback. And off.
One left.
56, Mike.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And he's got it. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Don't let him breathe, defense.
56 to Mike, boys. 56. Check, 56.
Gun.
Set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
They'll try to run with Carson. And this is not going to do it as he's stopped at the 2-yard line. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
Brings up 3rd and goal.
This Carolina defense looking to keep him out of the end zone once more. 3rd and goal. 3rd and goal. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And the offense is able to pounce on it inside the 5-yard line.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 11 yards and a Panther first down. They're going to run the sweep. It's Samuel. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Set. 88. 20. Kill.
stepping up. He'll try and run. And avoids the contact by sliding. 11 yards there. First down.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they called the field general.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. It was Jaron Reed who got him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Great. 49 the mic. Watch 49. Yeah.
They'll try the air now with Newton. And he fires one that's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
25. Big stop. Let's go. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Let's go. Hey, watch that. Check, Mike. 50. Go. 54. Hey, 0. Mike's 5-4. Good.
Now Wilson on first down. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it, and his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. Dancing to his left. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Got out of the pocket, didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it, live to fight another down.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Gun.
And now he'll tuck it and run. And he slides to avoid the hit. It's a Carolina first down on a gain of 16.
Gain of 16 yards. And a Panther first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Gun.
Cam's going to run the option right. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
At the Seahawks' 27-yard line.
Set. 180. Great. I got you. 55, Mike. 55.
From the 27, Newton stepping up. He's going to keep it. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half.
Ready. 180. 55. Hey, let's go.
Now Newton on first down. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Leonard Williams able to record his 5th sack of the season. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This one from 35 yards away. Gano's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. From the 29, Wilson looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down.
For our Seahawks. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Flag 90.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
36 power.
Watch the screen. Mike's 5-4. Echo. Mike's 5-4. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
On first down, Wilson. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Adrian Amos, the safety, able to make the play.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Gun.
Ready?
Throwing again. Newton. Open man is Samuel. Complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And he finds a man. It's McCaffrey. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Give him 6 yards in the first down.
Panthers.
Take a 10. 180. 20.
Out of the pistol, McCaffrey. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
the 43-yard line.
Ready? 780.
55. Hey, eat.
Gun.
Here we go, D.
Mike, 55. Right there in the middle. 55.
Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
On 2nd and 11 now. Newton eluding the pressure right. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
Ready?
Watch it, go.
Great.
Newton on 3rd down. Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Eight.
Cam's going to run the out. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike.
Now a play fake, and it's Newton. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long.
Mike 49. I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play. 49.
Gun.
49. 49 to Mike. 49 to Mike. All day, just like that. Just like that.
From the gun, here's Newton. Being chased out left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. And this one is right down Broadway. And that one makes this a 10-point game at 16-6. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
Let's go. We got this. 14, run it. Mike's 5-4.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. And this is caught inside the 5. It's a big play there for Seattle. 55 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson, his 14th touchdown now on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and the lead is down to a field goal. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away.
Let's go.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Eight yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
All day, defense, all day, all day. Check, Gary. 20.
After the run, Newton going to throw. Buying time to his left. He's going to look deep for more. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
It's 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat. Man, I got you. Mike 55.
3rd and 2, Newton. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 45. And these guys are going to have the football back as the 3rd quarter comes to an end. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
At the 25-yard line.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Watch the run. 59's Mike. Check, 59. It's our time. Hey, 0. Mike 5'9. 18. Mike, check.
Now Wilson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 19 yards the pickup there. Move the chains.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game.
56 to Mike. 56 is the Mike. I'm coming for you, Mike. Mike 56. Further. I'm on.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal.
Kill. He's coming. Double up.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A nice run there, 8 yards, moves him much closer to the goal line now for 3rd down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistent. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Chris Carson with touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that will make this a 4-point game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points, said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
Steps away to his left. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. To throw again, Newton. Gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage. And that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
180. 55. Get off the field. 55 is my guy. 55.
Off play action. Newton. It's caught by Bryant. A big play there for Carolina. 46 yards.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them a lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now a toss. This is McCaffrey. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 4 as they work with his 4-point 4th quarter lead.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 16-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Check tight.
Back to throw, Newton. Dancing to his left. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
Looked to me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
From the gun on third down, Newton. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down.
Gun. 8. Let's go.
Here we go on fourth. Newton. And that will be caught by Moore. He's got a Panthers touchdown. DJ Moore with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Panthers are going to jump back in front. The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag. Trailing in the fourth, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane. After
the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Watch the shift. Alert flare. Good, 4 down. Motion out of the backfield. Mike's 5-4. Friday.
Y'all not ready.
Mike's 54. Mike's off the 4. Hey, defense.
From the 30 on 2nd down. Wilson, this complete to Lockett. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
That gets them the first down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. 54. You gotta go in and out. Let's go. Watch this flat.
Here's Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. 7 yards on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Throwing now is Wilson. He'll check that down to Carson. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
280.
Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Watch the blood.
Go.
Watch the blood. Blood. Mike's 59.
Wilson to throw. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. So now it's 4th down and short, and whatever they do, run or pass it, they've got to pick up the first here.
Yeah, and you mentioned running it. That is still an option, but as you also said, they've got to do it quickly and get back to the line of scrimmage.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches.
14.
Go. Mike's 54.
Gun.
All day.
They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. He's got Adams on the hookup. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. So on 4th down, a big-time completion. And the defense, they've got to be shaking their heads right now.
Not only shaking their heads, but understand that they committed one of those cardinal sins that they say they can't do at any time. They committed an eye violation, had their eyes in one place, and allowed the deep ball behind them.
Hey, 0.
Night, sweetheart.
56. Hey.
Right there. 56. Watch Henry. 56 to Mike, boys. 56.
Go. 4 down.
Rip left.
They'll run on 1st down. Carson. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. The former Maryland Terp, Jermaine Carter Jr., had the tackle.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 11-yard line.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Hey, let's get in that hole. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
He's back to throw. They'll run the screen with Carson. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Alert 3. No. Hey, watch it. Check 13.
Gotta go, in and out. Let's go.
Check
On 3rd down, it's Carson. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the first. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
You don't want no problems with me.
A gain of 3. It's 4th down.
Now there's the timeout, signaled for with 2 seconds to go. And the field goal unit likely trying to send this one to overtime. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming.
A 30-yard attempt.
And this one is right through. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way, because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football.
Still got 4 down, 4 down. Mike 5-4.
All you get is a headache. All you get is a
Check.
First throw in overtime now for Wilson. Forced out to his left. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Hoping to keep this OT drive alive. Now they face a 3rd and 2.
check. Fresno.
12. Right there. 54, right there. 54, Mike. One flip. You don't want none. Hey, you don't want to see me.
Here's Wilson to throw. Oh, and it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. Still catching our breaths from that electric finish. You get in overtime, that's one thing. It was a great 4 quarters. But then in OT, not only to win it, but to win it on a defensive score. Wow.
Oh, definitely. And I think from now on, we're going to definitely travel someone who can help us, because I thought I was going to pass out at the end. Not just getting to the overtime, but the plays in overtime that led to this one, and to finish it on a defensive touchdown, a takeaway that gets into the end zone. I'm not rooting for anyone, but boy, I love to see games finish that way.
So for the Panthers, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they come back to the pack a bit as their record falls to 7-3. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. 5 days straight, no rest, oh well. Don't need no scale. I've been on my, I don't need no help. Always getting money, rains, no sleep. Every day I work my thumb. I don't get to take off. A hater get up. I'm ready like lift off. I never been nowhere, but I'm ready to stay gone. Nothing ever lasts long. I'm always beating the odds. Taking all these trips, I had to go and get a passport. I'm just trying to live. I don't know what the mad for. I just signed a deal and got a really big bag for it. Still at your mama crib and getting money, you gotta ask for it. I'm tired of complaining. I gotta change my situation. Looking at the view outside, I thought I would never make it. Every day, but that don't stop them.
Took a loss, but I